Some of the principals, like Connor, have been here for over 30 years. And after all that time, they say that it's just time for them to go. Of all the homeless people I talked to today, most just want more housing around the city. After the census is over, they hope some changes will be made. The clock was purchased in 1885, where it rang in the old Alachua County Courthouse. And then in 1983, it was restored and a tower was built to hold it. The clothes, books, and other items will continue to be stored at that facility. Officials are hoping to raise money to provide better security in the future. Surveyors have been visiting areas like Grace Marketplace, Dignity Village, and St. Francis House, where they have forms like these that ask where you've been sleeping last night and how long have you been homeless. Instead, they deal with restrictions on landscaping, such as having a certain kind of grass in your yard, keeping plants healthy and regularly maintained, and even being limited on the number of decorations you can have in your yard. Some of the things destroyed here included books, toys, prom dresses, and over 1,800 new pajama sets, most of them still having the tags on them. Nelson Armis dated Hannah Brim for a while and was the last person known to see her. Brim's cell phone is still working, but even after multiple calls from family and friends, she has not answered and has still not been found.
I tried to get in contact with her multiple times with no response.
Carrie Hodge has known Hannah Brim since they were in middle school, and she even got Hannah a job at Brown's Country Buffet, where Hannah worked for about 6 months. On January 19th, Armis and Brim were seen in a vehicle at the county probation office, where Armis got out of the car and returned 45 minutes later. He and Brim then drove off together, and that was the last time anyone saw her. But she wasn't reported missing until Saturday, January 23rd, just 4 days after she was last seen, when her mother realized that she wasn't answering any of her phone calls.
I'm continuously trying to get in contact and try and let as many people know to keep an eye out for her. It is a little hard.
At the time, she was about 5 months pregnant, and investigators say they don't know the identity of the father. Although Armis is currently in jail for domestic abuse charge that is unrelated to Hannah's disappearance, he is cooperating with the police during their investigation.
We're still hopeful overall that she comes forward or somebody knows where she's at, and it's a misunderstanding, but at this point we're treating it as a missing person investigation.
And for Carrie, she just wants to see her friend again.
I hope that you can get the help that you need. And I wish that you would just let us know you're okay.
GPD is asking for tips from the public. If you have seen Brim or her vehicle, you're asked to call the Gainesville Police Department. Brim was last seen in her 2003 silver Toyota Camry with Armis behind the wheel. Well, much of the discussion revolved around environmental concerns. Today, they focus more on areas that will be protected. The counties that would be affected include Alachua, Marion, Levy, Hernando, Citrus, and Sumter County. Through various studies, the task force has mapped out what the state of Florida has defined as prime and unique areas of local importance. The maps were made with these 4 C's in mind: conservation, countryside, centers and communities, and corridors. But some members of the task force and others who attended the meeting are still concerned that adding more roads would cause too much damage, including in Micanopy.
Well, we don't want to disturb the charm of the town and historic nature. It is on the National Register of Historic Places, we want to keep that charm.
Even though the task force wants to protect the environment, its main concern is safety. Because of congestion on I-75, some members support adding new roads for traffic relief on the interstate. 20% of congestion on I-75 is recurring, meaning that it's traffic that happens on a normal day. And 80% of congestion is non-recurring, meaning that it's traffic that doesn't happen every day, like bad weather, construction, or a car accident. Traffic builds as you drive south, and according to the Florida Department of Transportation, the highest amount of traffic occurs between Ocala and the Turnpike, and the task force is taking all of these concerns into consideration.
We're looking at things today that will be maybe developing within 10, 15 years, so it's not something that will be an immediate issue, but it's something that we're trying to get ahead of and prepare for.
Wood also said that there will be more evaluation before development begins. The next meeting will be held in April of this year. Reporting from the newsroom, Laura Peavler, WUFT News. Dancing, something people with Parkinson's disease are not often seen doing.
But this less conventional therapy is exactly what John Rodney Wright does 3 days a week on UF campus. John has had Parkinson's disease for 7 years, or at least that's what he remembers.
I have trouble getting out of a car. My feet would kind of freeze to the floorboards.
He found out by reading about the disease and decided that that's what he had. Parkinson's is a disease that affects the brain, causing tremors or shuffling of the feet. And staying active is one way to increase mobility. Emily Pozak is a dancer in residence that has been working with Dance for Life for 3 years. She uses different techniques to keep people with Parkinson's disease active.
Creating a community of people and being really present, and just a different way to explore movement and activity.
Although dance does allow for them to keep moving,
You start to feel beat up just after a few days.
but the main reason they come each week is to connect with each other. Getting to share experiences not only with others who have Parkinson's, but also with students makes dance more about the community of people.
I want to share my love with different groups of people, and this is one of the groups that I want to participate with and facilitate too.
Being able to come into this room of people that we share so much together, and being able to share what I love with them and move together is just really powerful for me.
For the instructors and the dancers, this program brings a new way of life and healing.
I often forget that arts can help heal just as much as science can.
Kind of fun. Got some chicks here. That keeps me interested.
John made sure to include his wife, who comes with him to dance only if she can find a place to park. Laura Peavler, WUFT News.